Hello everyone, this is Solaris Blue Raven. This information that I'm about to present was presented by me at the Super Soldier Summit this past May in 2013. Yeah, this was my presentation as a test pilot for covert technology and as an expert presenter. I want to relay this data because first of all, it has not been distributed accordingly, and I want to make sure people hear what I had to say, which was extremely significant insofar as the technology itself and how it works. So with that being said, this is for the 2013 Summit on Covert Assault Weapons. I was the test pilot for covert technologies, and I also cover solutions to tactical assault projects. Okay, so hello everyone, I'm Solaris Blue Raven. For those of you who do not know me, I was a test pilot and lab rat for a covert tactical assault project, which I was inducted into in 2004. I'm a published author, producer, and systems buster for MKUltra-related programs. I'm also a modified AI to some degree, remote viewer, and natural clairvoyant. Covert tactical assault consists of psychotronic warfare programs, pattern recognition, color and code recognition, synthetic telepathy, and psychic driving, both with a live handler in real time and then with machine interface. There was a satellite-driven remote influence regarding my physical body, which included attacks when I did not comply with my handler's request. I was interfaced with machine technology in a covert underground area for almost 10 years, 24/7. There are many levels to psychotronic programming. Each target has a unique code and signature template, which consists of not only their personal identification transmission frequency, yet the modified handler's signature as well. There is a blend of data transference, code, and signal enhancement, all to be compiled and stored in a black box underground of which no division questions. You may ask, how did I get through it? I got through it by remaining strong in my mind, character, and spiritual design. I am a certified black belt and instructor and was an established instructor before my induction. I trained my mind to override the programming. I stayed positive, opposed to negative, and executed my power by writing books, documenting the technology, researching covert technology, and experimenting with zero-point energy to come up with solutions to the equation and matrix which was presented to me. There are many levels to this matrix, over 200 plus or minus. I imagine more. I managed to make it to the other side. Each word is a program in life, whether one is plugged into the matrix or not. It is how you use the data you acquire without emotional imprinting, which can lead to confusion on behalf of a target. A target needs to learn how to stalk and shadow oneself regarding behavior and personality traits. Remain as a sacred witness and observe the programs running for what they are without an emotional, physical, and spiritual attachment. This takes a huge amount of personal will and mental discipline. You may ask, what is left after such an induction? I had to rebuild my life again from ground zero up. Some targets have to retrain their minds to speak, as some of the interface can leave them with something of an AI imprint. They will need to delete false matrices and programs, which include screen memories. And so far as databases go, the interface is stored in an underground area with advanced computer technology. Even the death experience is mapped and collected as an archive for the underground. Templates are also collected. One thing I have observed from other targets is a somewhat scattered mindset insofar as not being able to differentiate between what is a program running and what is a valid memory. I can tell you they are all programs. It is not about the experience of visual and audio, more about the type of program being run and interfaced with the target itself. For me, I knew I was dealing with technology. I knew I was in the matrix, and I knew who my handlers were, which made it more grounding insofar as understanding this was an abuse of power and science. I stayed positive and hopeful in thinking how wonderful this technology could be in the future. To heal illnesses, cure the blind or autistic. The dark side is, it is a weapon of war and manipulation. I do know this technology can be used for covert communications as well as blackcraft remote piloting, just to give an example. The holographic mind, when calibrated to the digital world, can do incredible things. The symbiotic relationship between a subject and a covert AI-oriented communication system can be a miracle design when used with wisdom. They work off the energy of each other. The very life force itself, which is a zero-point transmission and frequency, a symbiotic and sentient relationship, which is indeed an intricate fabric. Sad to say, many lives have been destroyed by the misuse of this tactical hardware. Minds who were brilliant, creative, and beyond the false matrix of mankind. I owe it to all those beings and myself to come up with a positive solution and not a negative perspective of the event. I am through the hells and have been through the hells of a man-made fire, and like the phoenix, I have become reborn into another design on this timeline. To simply put it, I knew what it meant to die alive. I watched my life go before my eyes with mock communications and voices of the dead, which they mapped in order to lull me into a vulnerable space of consciousness for control purposes. Now I awake and say, okay, let's solve the mystery and confront the puzzle. The solution, which is 1. High vibrational frequency is a cure. 0-point transmissions calibrate the signal to a higher light octave which can be workable for the subject. Maintaining a core consciousness on that level is a resolution. Redirecting the connections and calibrating the circuitry is a cure. There is always a solution to the equation and, inevitably, a backdoor. You can block attacks on an exterior level to some degree, yet it comes down to your own internal universal compass and programming. What you believe is what they will present. The mind can react like a holodeck as this planet, so be careful how you program your thoughts in your mind. Navigate from the source energy in the universe and you will have clarity. I have anomaly signatures beyond implants which were measured by Steve Colburn back in 2011. These anomalies are hardwired into my neural circuitry. They interface with all types of frequencies, transmissions, and covert communications systems. I have this data available on my DVD documentary called Eye of the Remote, a disclosure of covert technology, which is available for purchase here. Actually, it's purchased on Amazon.com. It was available at the summit. And of course, I was the producer to that. We do have scientific evidence and validation that some of these implants, which have been retrieved from test subjects, register a deep space signal, while others measure air traffic control and government radio band communications. This is not an ET, yet a covert technology creating mock radio signals to piggyback off of the natural wave of the target. This goes for universal wave signatures as they mimic signals and interface it onto their communications system. For more information, I will suggest researching Dr. Roger Lear, Dr. Kuntz, and Steve Colburn, who is the chief scientist for alien technology research. Some of these signals use a high-frequency transmission along with a low-frequency transmission to cloak the signal, much of which is encrypted and almost impossible to crack. They do a lot of piggybacking onto radio signals, which includes the electromagnetic field, which is a transmitter and receiver and a natural antenna. I have several books published on this technology, along with my experience as a test pilot lab rat, one of which is Eye of the Remote, Black Operations in Areas Beyond 52, which I published in 2008, and my recent release, Programmed by Deception, Eye of the Remote Series 2, the sequel, both of which are available on Amazon.com and my publisher, Author House Books. I highly suggest you pick up a copy, as the data in these books is priceless and uncensored. These days I have become master control and the programmer. We manifest at will any reality which includes what we wish to participate with. This includes the induction experience of a target. Most targets get traumatized in the beginning due to the overload interface. Once the interface is calibrated, the programs are changeable. I am aware there is an underground which has taken the template of biblical law and revelations and used this template to create a mock revelations, hence be aware of this. Not all is as it appears. There is a psychotronic deception mind game going on, and everybody is a player, whether they are a target or not. I do want to thank Dr. Robert Duncan for his exposure of the technology, which validates the facts insofar as this is no boogeyman, ET, demon, or God. It is the game of man, which has been played very well out indeed. It is a game designed to turn each other against by belief systems alone. It can empower and reboot a soldier in a battlefield, making him immune to trauma and disease, or cripple a target into a forced suicide by psychotronic driving. The door goes both ways. I do know you can take the helm and steer. You can reprogram and learn how to ride the beast through the waves of the false matrix, which is something I did. Let me conclude, this technology can be purchased on the black market. It is no longer just covert intelligence departments who are deploying it. It has become a global disease. I'm a test pilot in the sense they ran me through programs they would have run on their own personnel. I took notes, documented, and presented the data accordingly through my books with clarity. One has to see everything in life as a program, from sensation to the illusion of an experience, which may feel very real to your being. The constant in any universe is energy in motion. The universe is composed of intelligent energy. Our cells and atoms are composed of this intelligent energy with no boundaries, as all of the answers are within. Information is activated by vibration and frequency, the music of the spheres. Even when the machine interface, I am convinced the celestial mechanics of the universe are indeed ascended machine technology, based on pure consciousness and energy, the true source. One of the keys to the solution of these projects, as I said before, is using high-frequency instruments containing a zero-point transmission to raise a target's vibratory rate to disengage the low-frequency control transmissions and mechanisms. In other words, we give them something to chew on, scramble, and shift the atomic spin to a higher octave than what the target is currently experiencing. And this also goes for electrons too, by the way, spinning the electron on a higher frequency. No one should have to be at the mercy of a misuse of technology. The reason this is easy for me is I was teaching DNA activation before I was tagged with the project back in 2004. I know universal harmonics and mechanics opposed to man's mock version in a virtual machine. Tesla coils, photon sound beam, radionics rife, all are useful tools in the redirection and subtle broadcasting of the attack. Knowing thyself is also a key in repairing the holographic grid and mind. Know thyself and heal thyself. Thoughts can manifest as a disease. Keep this in mind. The very program of mankind is toxic. His belief systems have become based on lies and censorship and a false matrix since the beginning of man-made time. Mankind has been deceived since the moment of a conceived birth in the illusion of the false matrix. I do not believe in free shots. I am aware there is a universal law which creates a balance mankind is somewhat oblivious to. If we see our embodiments outside the vessel we reside in, one begins to understand we are merged with the universal hive mind, which is infinite and unlimited, regardless of what one might experience on this planet or timeline. I am aware my anomaly signatures are always transmitting and active, which alerts me to the fact they can be controlled and upgraded by me. The black box will archive the information, but yet it is a program within a program. One thing I am also clear on, we have brilliant-minded scientists on this earth which, with our support, can flip the switch for a better world, which is based on unlimited consciousness and freedom. So as they say, on your feet, soldiers, a true reminder of the American people and all people across the globe, who are the front lines to our independence and are the true militia creating a new world and frontier. The universe is our celestial birthright and heritage, which no one has the right to interfere with. No one has the right to stop you from evolving on any dimension, in any plane or form. I have anomaly signatures which interact with sounds and bounce to music on the radio, which have pretty much, I've been calibrated now. This has been going on for 10 years, so those signals are pretty much integrated. Covert intelligence areas use mock radio wave signals which tag the electromagnetic field and neural circuitry on a target and interface it onto a communication system in an underground area with a live handler agent in real time. This technological interface is called synthetic telepathy. The interface, which consists of a mind-hacked supercomputer, is capable of mind-mapping the brain template, mimicking dialogue, and interacting in various ways such as visual sounds, words, and manipulation of motor skills, which are all done by remote. These stalking assault projects tag their target of choice and are driven by remote satellite. This technique is used when targeting a test subject. It can also be done by local covert areas as well as underground bases and intelligence areas. Zero-point signal waves. Once again, the zero-point transmission wave is based on extraterrestrial data and not a man-made covert creations. Covert areas map this force and interface it onto a target. As with me, I had reached a 0 point before they tagged me in 2004 because my Merkaba was established, which made it easier for them to basically tag it and establish a communications link. As of recent, there are new technologies on the horizon which can attack a target by remote and neutralize the being at a distance. With any type of implant or signal, fighter or drone pilots are able to track and map the signal, lock in on it in the coordinate, and destroy their target. This is the war of the future if we do not put a stop to it. And of course, an abuse of power, to say the least. Okay, a little history about us. What and who are we? Non-human celestial beings is what we are. Our DNA is celestial in design and activates through higher consciousness, vibration, speed, and celestial and universal osmosis. We are mutating to higher levels of light body design, which eventually shifts into Merkaba, multidimensional vehicle of light, which is internal zero-point transmission. This 0 point allows us to draw on the universal archives and source to further mutate our DNA to a point we are the celestial beings we are designed to be, which includes the ability to bilocate, teleport, and phase shift to any universal sector at will. This also includes synthetic telepathy, by the way, which isn't synthetic, it's higher consciousness telepathy. Our life is based on sacred geometry. This design has been everywhere, yet remains cloaked to some degree in one's DNA. It too is encrypted and not easy to read, break, or access due to the creator program. More solutions. Scramble the signal. Exterior devices can scramble the signature, treat it as a motherboard, reroute the signal, where a device which redirects the signal and traps the transmission in a black box design. Zero-point transmission, in addition to high vibrational frequencies, can alter the atomic spin and shift the signal. Experimenting with harmonic frequencies to see how the body responds is a good idea, as each target will have a resonance with a different frequency and code. The goal is to change the signature and alter the signal by changing the vibration and speed. Surgery, a possibility yet not recommended due to the intricate detail of the nanodevices which adapt and embed onto a subject. And this is not the kind of surgery for a regular Western surgeon, obviously. You cannot go to Western surgeons for this type of technology. You have to treat it differently. A more drastic approach would be a scientifically developed EMP blast to disable the mechanisms. Of course, that's very drastic. I have been told by various scientists this does not affect the well-being of the target, yet personally I am not convinced and do not recommend this. According to several professional sources, some say it can